Red Bull, Williams, McLaren, who's going to snap and who's going to prevail in turn 1, and it was the mighty Blue.
But it is not over yet, because both Dark and Friends are going to get an opportunity as they make their way down towards turn 4.
And it's 3 wide, unbelievable
through
scene.
130 yard. This is truly breathtaking. This is Japan, ladies and gentlemen. This is their moment, and what a show they are putting on here tonight,
There's
folks.
just no way past for Morel. Morel cannot get past Praetara. He needs this position. He needs it. And no way has he just done off the inside of that corner.
Take a bow and embrace it, son. You deserve this.
Dark HD, you are a 2-time champion of the world. Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the BMRL Tier 2 Spanish Grand Prix here in the lovely land of Catalonia, Barcelona, here for round 7. My name's Josh Akinlau, and joined by the lovely man Matt Ashley. It's going to be a great race, hopefully, and we're going to have a look what happened last time round, because we were at Monaco and it was a great race. We saw Tyrant King, who was away on pole position but had a few issues later on in the race, got stuck behind Official JE, who had front wing damage and took a bit of a plunge, pitting for softs late on, and somehow managed to claw back all the time and get himself into P1. It was an incredible race. Go back to see it if you haven't seen it already. We'll look at the championship, because Mighty 1 and 2 leads in Aston Martin 1-2 the drivers. Christian J following close behind in P3, and Aston Martin are running away from Ferrari currently in the constructors fight. It's not over yet, because we're here in Spain. Well, apologies for the slight delay in getting started here. We just had to wait for something to come in before we could go live. But I'm joined here by the lovely man Matt Ash. You want to say anything for the lovely people out there? And they can't hear you. I'm sorry, they can't hear you. Yeah, you knew it was gonna happen. Right, let me just fix this. Here we go. There we go. You should be able to hear you now.
And hello, everyone.
We're alive. We're alive.
Hello, I am alive. I am extremely looking forward towards this race. We have 3 very fast drivers in 2 Aston Martins and a Ferrari. Unfortunately, we're missing Yacinito for this week's race, so this is Aston Martin's chance to run away even more in the constructors.
Yeah, definitely it is. And Jake Laser is certainly enjoying his life right now, setting an 11.8 to be in provisional pole. We missed the first few laps. Caxel is yet to finish his lap, but he is going very much fast through this lap right now as he comes out of sector 1 and in towards sector 2, taking it quite nicely as it is so far. We'll see what he does later on through sector 2, but as it stands, he is on provisionally maybe for the fastest lap of this session so far. Apologies for that going off just there. We should be here right now. See now Capsule coming through the next corner there onto the back straight. Matty 1 and 2 gets out of the way very nicely for him. Now he's gone purple in sector 2 as well now, and he is very much on for a lap to remember if he can keep it together through the final few corners of this lap. So he comes out of turn 12 now, still doing quite well through turn 13. At aim 2, it's a flat out if you dare. Turn 14. What can Caxel do here? He's going to come on a short run to the line. What's it going to be for Caxel? He goes on to provisional pole with an 11.802. Barely getting Jake Laser. He won't be happy with that one.
What a flying lap that was, Josh. Caxel has been missing qualifying since he didn't get through Monaco, and he is back with a bang with that sort of lap.
Yeah, very much back with a bang, of course. We saw him last time out at Monaco, going from the back to P5, I believe it was. And he is certainly driving a bit angry now in qualifying after serving a qualifying ban in the last race.
Yes, Axel will be wanting a good result here after losing a couple of points over the last couple of races and kind of losing pace in the championship. But he is still there on 76 points, so he could still he is well in with a chance at this championship.
Yeah, I mean now just see Official JE going purple in sector 1, but only by 2,000, so it's really close here. We'll see what happens later on as he now makes his way down towards the long, really tricky corner of turn 7 and the nothing corner of turn 8 into turn 9, again flat out in qualifying with this new generation of cars, although it was flat out before anyway. But we'll see now as he makes his way towards the end of sector 2, what will Official JE be able to do? He goes purple again. This time I can't see the gap currently, He's 2 tenths up on his time, so I think he's not fastest out of everyone. I don't know why the game's saying that, but he is up on his time certainly. And we'll see now as he makes his way towards the final corner once again. What can official JE do? Is he going to be able? He's flashing his battery there. I don't know what's happened there, but he's gone into P3. We missed Matty 1 or 2 going into provisional pole with an 11.6. Official JE only a few hundredths off, but it's not enough for him.
Was on fire there, only just behind Matty 102, who set a lap during your wonderful commentary there, Josh, and blitzed the entire field to put it on pole.
Yeah.
Original pole.
Axel, of course, setting his first lap earlier on than these guys going. And Mr. Camu as well, who's. I'm missing a lot of stuff here because I'm used to seeing Mr. Camu out as well. I don't know where that came from, but the 50 caliber is not going to be in last position unless anybody else has something. Well, actually, no, you can't. No one can challenge him if he doesn't. Oh, don't worry. That's a bit of a Jason moment, that innit?
Yes. Don't worry. It's all good. Matty102 just went in chat. Hello, Matty102. You said damage isn't on, but I believe damage is on. It says reduced on my screen. I don't know about you, Josh, but I don't know where that's sort
I mean,
of.
I'll have a quick look.
I hope he's joking about that because of yesterday's kerfuffle. Jake Lays has put it onto provisional pole there, Josh.
No.
Aston Martin are on a provisional front row lockout, and that was perfect timing. And what a lap from Jake Laser there. The Aston Martins are flying around here.
It was very much not perfect timing. I missed everything so far. FTR Dan is in the pit lane. I've still missed it. Roscoe has invalidated, of course, having some minor technical issues with his computer, and he's managed to get out in time. And we might assume he's a bit out of practice for this race, but we'll see. Can he do anything to get a bit higher than P9? Now I'm gonna look at the damage.
Yes, very much. What is it? Cameron Ross. What a driver. He has missed 1 week, but he's very consistent, and hopefully he can get some more points around here in a very good track for him.
Damage is on, Khan confirms. I think he's just taking the piss out of me. And Supermoto's gotten in. He's got about 5 minutes to go in, get a lap done, and get out again. So we'll see what he can do. It looks like a 50 caliber will be the first to do his final lap, unless Dark Shadow is on a flyer. Have a look. He is up on his time, about 3 tenths up on his time currently. So this may be his last lap. We'll see what he does. Will he come into the pits? I assume he'll stay up because he is a good amount up on his time here. So we'll see what can Dark Shadow do to improve the P10 that he has currently. Crumbs across the line. P9 only right now. 6 tenths up on his time he was, but it just wasn't enough to hit FTR Dan. And we're going to go for a really late prediction, Matt. I know I've not said it at all, but who do you think is going to be the favourite for pole position currently?
Favourite for me has to be Jake Laser, the provisional pole sitter. I will always back that man, the American maestro, and one last lap of glory, and we could see between the Matty102, Official JE, and Twitch Caxel, who are all flying. And another thing that is very interesting is Tyrant King, who was so quick around Monaco, is struggling around here. He's almost a second off the pace.
Yeah, well, I can say the pace that has been set by these guys at the front is certainly scary. For context, I think it was the top 2 in Tier 1 yesterday that were in the low 11s, and the rest were, you know, around the 11.4, 11.5 mark. Scary to think what Matty102, Jake, I mean, from really Caxel down, they've all, you know, getting into that high 11, mid 11 kind of range, and I don't think they've given up the best they've got to offer yet. And I think we might see more from Jake Laser, and to be fair, Matty102 and Jake Laser, as we see Matty102 coming out of the pits now for his final lap. But Jay's on his lap, so Matt, you want to take us through it?
Oh yes, I can do. It's an early lap for Jay. Is he going to get 2 laps in here, or is he going straight for it as he heads into turn 1, which is a very fast right-hander for the start of the track, and it's a long run down to turn 1. Now it's and he's backed out already,
He's backed out. He went a bit wide at both turn 1 and turn 2. Just didn't get the apexes as much as I think he would have liked. So he's got time to go again. But I presume why the likes of Matty and Jake Laser have come out Matty and JE have come out so late is because of the marbling in the later stages of the lap. It just is quite bad, and I'm sure you can see it on the onboard here. That there is marbling through quite a few. I mean, this corner is a lot, as you can see a bit on the track, and yeah, it just doesn't help your grip. if you're out too late. So you can probably see Mighty 102 going a bit earlier. He's on his app currently. We'll see. I think JE will still be the first one. So we'll take you through most of it because I think he'll be the first across the line. And then we'll look at Mighty 102 and the rest behind after that. I believe Caxel is the one after that. So, Matt, we'll try this again. You want to take us through this lap with official JE?
And here we go again. As you want a beautiful X out of these two corners just to get the greatest top speed down this start-finish straight. It's a very long start-finish straight down here in Spain. Not the longest, but it's still a very long one. And we head to turn 1, where you want to be hitting about 4th gear, and you want a good X out of there, so you can send it into turn 2. And Jay seems to have done that, and he's got it better than his last attempt. And you go round this long right-hander, the Fernando Alonso 2015 infamous corner, and he keeps it flat out into the fast right-hand. Not fast, but you want to be accelerating very early out of turn 4, and then quickly into turn 5 with the corner before not really being a corner, so it doesn't count as a corner, and it's turn 4. Now we're on to turn 6 unexpectedly, and in we go. You want a good. This is a tricky corner, and you want to go fast through there, obviously, Josh, and then you want to stay flat around that quick. You can turn 9 as we come into the new section of the track. Not the newest, as they have been changing the track a lot around Spain. And he has done a very quick lap here, Josh. And he comes round into turn 12. And then we have the final 2 corners, which are basically flat out if you do it right. And then you want to go down into 6th usually, but he's kept it in 7th. And JE goes across the line to set a 1:11.6 and goes on to provisional pole, Josh.
Well, we'll see what Mighty 102 has to respond to that when he's going to cross the final corner now. What has Mighty 102 got to offer? As it is, it's not enough. P3 at best it will be for Mighty 102. We'll have a look to who is next. And I think it is Caxel. Caxel is 1/10 up on his time in Sector 1. Sector 2, what will he be able to do? We're following him, but he's now 2/10 down. That might be all it's got to offer for Caxel, but we'll keep on just in case something amazing happens through the final few corners and he's backed off. That's enough. There may be time to go again. We'll see. Yeah, he's going to go again. He's got 16 seconds, so that will be enough. Caxel will go again. We'll see what he's got. Jake Laser starting his lap now. I think the next person will be Shane in the Ferrari. He is just marginally down on his time, but we'll see now through turn 12, 13 and 14 what he can do. As he now qualifying is over, so if you haven't started a lap, you are too late. Shane will be the first to cross the line then. What can he do to get himself further up? He crosses the line, and it is only P5, does not improve. Supermoto's finished his as well. We'll look to the Alpha Tauris, first of Tyrant King, currently about 2.5 up on his time. What can Tyrant do now? Going through towards the final corner now. Tyrant comes up to the line. Little bit of lifting off through the final corner, and he goes into P5. Slight improvement, but P5 at best for him. Fastest final sector. FT or Dan, I think, will be the next. He has had enough. That's him done in qualifying. P8 at best. Well, P8 it will be because the rest have retired behind them. Roscoe only P10. Will now look to Caxel. Is he still doing anything? He's 5 tenths down. Caxel is finished. Jake Laser, I think, will be the last person to cross the line. What can Jake Laser do? He got pole in Bahrain, and we'll see now what will Jake Laser do coming towards the final corner. Jake Laser goes on to provisional pole. No, forget provisional. It's pole position for Jake Laser. What a lap, a 1:11.3. He storms the grid and puts it in P1 by just over 3 tenths.
A lap, Josh. That was amazing, Jake Laser. 3 tenths clear of the rest of the field. And I thought JE's lap was good. Jake Laser, that was stunning.
That was amazing from Jake Laser. What a lap from the American there. Wow. That is a scary precedent set by the Aston Martin driver there. Well, we're going to relax a little bit because he got the race, the quality rundown. Jake Laser with an absolute stormer of a pole position is in P1. Official J didn't have enough, only P2. Mighty 102, just 5 thousandths down on JE, gets it P3. Caxel coming back to qualifying now in P4. Tyrant, after a bit of a rocky start to qualifying, qualifies P5. Shane even, on his debut, goes P6. Supermoto P7. FTR Dan P8. Dark Shadow P9. Roscoe with a bit of a rough qualifying in P10. The 50 caliber in P11, and Mr. Cammy with an early retirement only P11 with a stonking 2-minute 22-second lap.
What a lap from Mr. Camu, I have to say. That was absolutely incredible to be over 2 laps on 1 lap. But what are your predictions for the race now, Josh? Do you think Jake Laser can do it?
I mean, after a qualifying lap like that, you've got to back him, really. I mean, he's course official J last time out. He did well last time out, I say, and he'd reserved for tier 1. We saw him struggling. We found out later on it was down to setup, so we'll see what he can do now. Jake Laser had a very strong race in tier 1 with the hard tire inshallah strategy going on the hard, so I think it was 22 laps. So we'll see if he does something similar here. If we can quickly have a look at who's doing what in terms of tires. So we've got Jake Laser on the mediums. I should say on the medium, he's just changed the mediums on the softs originally. Katzel may now be the lead soft runner, the only in the top few drivers, but the lights go on, the revs rise, and the engines scream, and we are underway, maybe, now we are, here in Spain. Official J doesn't get away as well as he would like. Matty 102 might have an opportunity, no is the answer. Katzel is now in P3, gets ahead of Matty 102. Tyrant wants to capitalize as well, and goes down the inside of Matty 102, and gets ahead. Now he's going to try and hold it around the outside of Katzel. They're going to go side by side now through turn 3. I think Tyrant has advantage here, he's got in the position, but Katzel will not want to give it up. He's going to try and hold it around the outside. Will he have the grip to do so? He's got the soft compound tires, but Tyrant just forces him, shuts the door on him, and that is enough for him. There's been a bit of a gap behind. I don't know if there's some sort of incident, but Shane is the one that's going to stick with this pack, and then there's a big gap between Mr. Camu and the rest, as he has now gotten himself from the back to P7 already.
That was an incredible start. Unfortunately for Matty 102, lost 3 positions there. That was not a great start for him, but someone I would like to point out, Mr. Cameron on the hard compound tires went from 12th up to 7th.
Yeah, that
was incredible.
Yeah, great
and,
stuff.
Something must have happened back there.
Yeah, you'd have to assume it. Of course, we missed it with the battles going on between Tyrant and Matty 102 and Caxel, so we missed that. But as it stands, Mr. Cameron was 1.7, now 1.3 behind, so he's got some pace that we've seen. Maybe the 2-minute lap time was a fluke, and maybe he's going to beat it already because Jake Laser's going on the fastest lap. I know it's the first lap with a 19.1, so hopefully Camu went a bit faster than 2 minutes 22. But Official J is into P1. I'm missing everything today. Katzel is into P3 ahead of Tyrant. I am so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but Tyrant is trying to hold it around the outside if he can. No, he is the answer. He cannot.
Red Bull Racing as Twitch Katzel is now on the inside of Jake Laser, and Twitch Katzel stands up the inside on those fresh softs and goes up into P2, but he does seem to lose it, and he forces Jake Laser out wide, and Twitch Katzel stays in P3 whilst Tyrant King takes 2 positions in 1 there, Josh.
Yeah, Tyrant King with maybe a qualifying he wasn't entirely happy with, but I'm sure he'll be happy with the opening few laps of this race. Caxel is certainly making advantage of them soft compound tyres. I would be surprised if he fancies up in P1 later on.
Yes. Twitch Katzel is flying on the softs. Those softs are amazing. I did find out yesterday they were so good to use for the first about 4 or 5 laps, and then you just start feeling the pain. So Chris Axel will be wanting to get past these guys ASAP so he can pull away as far as he can before he has to come into the pits. I'm wondering here, Josh, is Twitch Axel going to go for a 2-stop, or is he going to try and pull it out and make it?
Well, I'll answer that question in a minute because we've just seen Twitch Caxel now pulling alongside Tyrant King going in towards turn 1. They're so close between the 2 of them. It's going to be Twitch Caxel down the inside on the softs compared to the mediums, and he gets a position, and that's him up into P2. And yes, is what I think. I think we maybe might see a 2-stop from Caxel, maybe. But we saw Doc Jr. going from the softs to the mediums, and it worked for him, so maybe not even. But we saw, if maybe Caxel watched the race yesterday, you might also know that the 2-stop was a bit of a calamity for you.
Especially.
Yeah, but I think it's very important that Caxel gets in stays in the DRS of Official J, because we saw again yesterday how powerful the DRS was, and it's so important for him to do so. Mighty 102 is right in the back of the pole sitter Jake Laser. Maybe just a bit of lack of confidence after a bit of a rough start for both of them, and now will Jake Laser maybe let Mighty 102 through potentially.
I don't know what happened in the Aston Martins. They started on the front row locked out, and now they're both down to 4th and 5th, which is extremely unfortunate for the 2 of them. But they are still in this race. They're within a second of the Tyrant King, so they are still well in with a chance at a win of this race.
Yeah, I'll wait till the slap is done because Tyrant King is close to the back. of, as you see Dan getting past Supermoto, going into turn. Oh, Supermoto's disconnected, that's why it's happened. But we'll have a look forward just to see. No, nothing's happening so far. Tyrant King stays where he is. Caxel is in the DRS of official JE crucially. He needs to get past this when they make advantage of the softs as early as possible. Roscoe gets past Supermoto, who is disconnected. If you can get him back in, Matt, that would be great.
I have invited him. I thought he rejoined and then he never left again. I don't know if he's taken control of his car yet. That would be an interesting way to take the start of a race, Josh. But I have invited him a couple of times. I hope he can get in. But other than that, it's been a great start to the race. We have a gaggle of cars at the front.
Yeah, this battle from official JE pretty much downwards all the way down to Shadow is quite intriguing, and we're starting to see the Aston Martins start to just drop back a little bit. Jake Glazer may end up out of the DRS here, and that is going to not help his chances in the slightest. He needs to get in the DRS. Now gap is just 9 tenths. I think he will just about have it as it is, but look at the gap between Tyrant King and Twitch Caps. I want to take us through this, Matt.
Tyrant King's all over the back of Twitch Capsule. Maybe Twitch Capsule's tyres are starting to go off as the softs are already becoming slower than those medium tyres, and it's very interesting. He does have good straight line speed here. They are both, well, Tyrant King has much better ERS here than Twitch Capsule, 46 to 29 in Twitch Capsule, and we could be seeing an overtake, but not the one you expect quite soon here, Josh.
Yeah, definitely not. You see BMRL Roscoe getting past FTR Dan, and Dan is just not having a bit of a reserve drive to remember right now. Just talking about tyres, you said it before. If I'm honest, Twitch Caps is doing quite well on the soft compound tyres. I can see the Aston Martins. They're doing a little bit more tyre saving than the rest, and I think that shows in the gap that they've got there compared to how he was kind of dropping back. Jake Glazer's starting to turn the pace up a bit because it looks like he's now getting towards the back of Tyrant King, and Tyrant King is very much on the back of Caxel. But Caxel is very much on the back of official JE, and with how powerful the DRS is, will we see a move on this lap? Official JE 64% battery compared to Caxel's 33%. He's deploying it now, and we'll see Caxel does not deploy, but we'll see, is there enough slipstream, is there enough straight line speed for Caxel to get past official JE on this lap? Take us through it again, Matt.
Oh yes, here we go. Twitch Caxel is now coming back at JE, so maybe I was wrong saying his tyres are going off. This DRS train is absolutely thrilling to watch, and he could not make the move again, Josh. It looks like he's really trying to make it quick, but he just isn't. He's trying to rush the move a little bit here, Josh, and it's just affecting him a little bit, and those tyres will be starting to hurt already.
And Tyrant King is maybe seeing that and trying to go around the outside, but he just doesn't have the confidence on the brakes. Maybe go for a switchback, maybe launch it around the outside. No, it's Yensa. He's not going to be able to make that move. Yeah, so Twitch Caxel, 25% tyre wear. The two mediums around him on 20% in JE and Tyrant King respectively. And the Aston Martins on both are 17% worn tyres. So Aston Martins are doing just a little bit better on their tyres. Matty 1 and 2's right in the back of Jake Glazer. But I think they're just going to leave it as it is. No team orders for the time being.
Not at all. I think the Aston Martins are happy where they are. Not happy, but after that start, they are happy to sit in the DRS, preserve those tyres, and hope the other guys rip into their tyres a little bit more. But I think Official JE is doing a good job at saving his tyres just as well as the Aston Martins. You know more than me, but Twitch Caxel is still falling away from him, and it looks like I don't know, but you do. He is gaining a lot, but it doesn't look like he's going to make a move here, Josh. He does dive up the inside. That is a surprise to me and a surprise to everyone as JE takes the exit road, and that was a very audacious dive that didn't seem to come off there, Josh. I was going to ask before you decided to make that random move, is he past the drop-off point on those tyres?
Yes, he is, and to be fair, now Official JE is as well on 24%. But I just want to point something out on how powerful the DRS was. The DRS is in this race. The top speed of Official JE on that straight was 316 k's. If you just saw a bit of a snap coming out of turn 8, it is. But I think he's recovered fine, and Caxel might have an opportunity. We'll have a look. I'll wait till we go past turn 1, because there is now maybe an opportunity for Caxel. Doesn't have the battery to use, but he might still have the grip on the tyres, maybe, as compared to JE. JE is just having a bit of a snap there. This might be trouble for Official JE, because Caxel is now 2 tenths behind with DRS. Caxel's right in the back of him. I think we're going to see a move here, ladies and gentlemen. Twitch Caxel right in the back of Official JE. Uses the slipstream and now gets past Official JE going on to lap 8 of 33. Twitch Caxel goes into P1.
Was incredible, and he is now ahead of Official J. He needs to run away if he wants his strategy to work here. But watching behind, Official J is basically side by side with both of them at this point, and they almost make contact, Tyrant King and Official J there, as Official J switches to the inside to try and make a move on Twitch Capsule, and it seems to be coming off. He is side by side, but Twitch Capsule does hold off on the inside, and J will have to sit behind until the next start-finish straight, I assume.
Yeah, it's certainly not over. Caxel now has very much used most of his battery. 13% for him, 40% for Fisher JE, 27% for Tyrant. And then you look a bit further back, Jake Laser, 79%. So maybe he is happy to stick back and let them fight and waste their batteries because he is very much in the battle. Virtual safety car. Yeah, it would have been for the retirement of Dark Shadow. Apologies that we missed it, but there was...
I don't think so, Josh.
Is it not?
Mr. Camu has no front wing.
You're very right. Mr. Camu does have major front wing damage. He must have had an incident.
Yes, you'll be hoping this virtual safety car stays out for as long as him to get into the pits so he doesn't lose too much more time. He was on a blinder there on his hard tyres, only 2 seconds off that front row. And if we have a look to the voice of the front, Twitch Capsule and Official JE both coming into the pits and basically guaranteeing themselves a 2-stop here.
Axel, 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. That is not going to help his chances out. Official JE comes in as well. Interestingly, the Aston Martin didn't split their strategy. They think it's the best option to stay out as it is. Supermoto's gone out. Is that a retirement in the pit lane? What car is he? That's Alpine. I think he's hit the wall. He's hit the wall going into the pit lane entry. Yeah, he has.
Yes. Oh, no.
Oh, and that's going to be a full safety car. And all of a sudden, Aston Martins are not enjoying their lives.
That has ruined the Aston Martins and Tyrant King's whole strategy here, Josh. That has been an absolute calamity for them, as they are now going to have to pit. Sure, you pit under a safety car now. You stick a set of hards on and go to the end. That's the only way to do it at this point.
Yeah, now the Aston Martins have to split their strategy. Well, then they have to both probably double stack, so we'll see. Will might want to back off as much as he can. He's got Shane behind, who will probably get him, but also Caxel does have that penalty. And he still has to obey the safety car speed, so they might not lose out too much, the Aston Martins, because Pirate hasn't caught the safety car yet, and he'll be coming in, so they might be okay. But I assume Matty wanted, well, to be fair, there's no one really left fighting with apart from FT or Dan, who has stayed out. So Jake Laser stays out, Matty 102 comes in. I think that's something they should have done in the first place and split strategy under the virtual safety car, but here we are. Jake Laser will lead the race on the worn mediums. For context, 25% tyre wear is what he's carrying. So it isn't significant, but it is less than the fresh tyres that he'll have from people behind him. Tyrant King looks to maybe... No, I think he will come out in P2. So I think it was, as I said before, very crucial that that they didn't catch the safety car, so they didn't lose out too much. And if anything, they actually gained. Well, yeah, Tyrant King gained, really, under the safety car by not pitting under the virtual. Matty 102 comes out in P5, so that'll be him there, and Jake Laser will lead us away. Anyways, before I was so rudely interrupted by all the overtaking moves and all the chaos, I was going to talk about the speeds of Official JE and Caxel. So Official JE, who was in P1 at the time, and Caxel was about 8 tenths back by the straight, and Official JE down the straight on the speed trap clocked the speed of 316 kilometers an hour, and Caxel hit 333 kilometers an hour. That is incredible speed difference between the two of them down the straight, and yeah, it's not surprising that Caxel could gain nearly a second to JE down the straight, down the main straight. DRS is very much a weapon around this track.
Yes, I'm having a ponder, and I don't really know why Jake Laser's still out on track. Is it a strategical, or is he just gonna have to come in this lap? Because he's gonna have to stay out now. He's gonna have to commit to going for a medium soft strategy, right? He's gonna go mediums and then go softs at the end. That's the only way to do this. You can't do another 2 stops now. So I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the strategy from the Aston Martin boys, but if it does come off, I applaud them. But we will see how it goes. And I would also like to say, I don't know, but Twitch Capsule could have come in, maybe served that 5 seconds. I don't know if that would have been right cool,
You
but
see, the thing is, at that point, you're going to be the dirty. Yeah, we saw Camu. I think, like, although we don't know what his pace is like specifically, as we saw the 2-minute qualifying lap, but in the 50 caliber as well, I want to point out, it's in P7 right now, which is, I'm sure, very nice. He's right on the back of that leading to the top 6 pack that we saw earlier on in this race. So can the 50 caliber do anything to get nearer to the top? We'll have a look later on anyway. We'll come back to them at a later stage of the race. But yeah, I think for Jake Laser, really it was a matter of the Aston Martins. I don't understand why they wouldn't have done it. Well, they should have split their strategy when the virtual safety car came in, because when they see the top 3 coming in front of them, and you're both in front of each other, I don't see why they wouldn't. One of them wouldn't come in, cover it off. Rather than
I always hesitate. I always hesitate to criticize strategy around tier 2 because anything can happen. I criticized Yasunita's strategy in Australia for about 5 laps, and then he went on to win the race. So we never know with this tier and with this league, and we could be seeing a very interesting restart from Jake Laser here, Josh.
yeah, well, we never know what happens with strategy, but we do know that Jake Laser will be taking us away for the safety car restart going on to lap 12 of 33. It'll be interesting to see where he goes. Tyrant with 9 lap newer hard tyres will be eager to get on with it. And Jake Laser, maybe we'll see, does he go late, does he go early? Of course, it is a long run down to turn 1. Well, I say long. A long run down to turn 1. And we'll see, when does Jake Laser want to go? We're going to wait. And I think he's going to take it right up to the line before he goes. He's gone now out the exit of turn 14. I think Tyrant might have an opportunity. No, he doesn't. We'll have a look because the official J is right on the back of Capsule. Might he 1 or 2? Of course, on the fresh sides as well. Maybe an opportunity. The answer is no for him. JE, everyone stays as they are, as it stands. 50 caliber stays where they are. Everyone is stayed where they are. A pretty clean restart. Nothing really of note happening. Capsule, the closest to their rival, apart from Shade, who's right on the back of Mighty 1 or 2. And maybe might have an opportunity to send it down the inside of Mighty 1 or 2. Mighty doesn't let it happen, goes late on the brakes, but he might have got a bit deep now because Shay's going to hold it round the outside. And maybe we'll see a move from Shay. He has got it done. A great move from Shay, goading Mighty 1 or 2 into going deep. And he just didn't have the grip to hold it that when he goes into the brakes, into the corner that late on the brakes. As Mr. Camu had an issue, actually there's an issue behind with Dan as well. So we've got another gap. And now will 50 cal be able to hold on to this pack? Mighty 1 or 2 with a bit of a restart to forget after that. And Tyrant King has gotten past Jake Laser to go into P1. Of course, we'll see Jake Laser going a bit wider onto the marbles. And Twitch Capsule has used that to get past the tyres. Should not give him the grip for Jake Laser. And all of a sudden, he's in P3 now.
Jake Laser is falling down the pack. Those meetings will not feel good compared to fresh hards. And to point out, sorry, John. The Ferrari reserve driver is doing an amazing job at just sitting here and sitting here right behind this too as official JE makes the move on Jake Laser, as does Shane, and they are through the 2 Ferraris and they're both ahead of the Aston Martin boys now. As Jake Laser is struggling here, Josh, he has lost another position to Mighty 1 or 2 and probably 50 caliber at some point.
Yeah, Aston Martin's not having fun, but I'll tell you who might be having fun. It is Tyrant King trying to go around the outside of Twitch Capsule. It's not got on for him yet, but it's not over, certainly. So now I think it is very much Mighty 1 or 2 flying the British Racing green flag to try and get further up on the grid. And I think Jake Laser, who's lost out to the 50 caliber, is now in serious trouble.
Did Twitch Capsule make a move on Tyrant King? Because I thought Tyrant King was ahead of Twitch Capsule before there. Josh, I don't know that about you.
I might be mistaken, I'm not sure.
I think Twitch Capsule might have made a move. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll take it. But that's what I thought was right. And just before Josh, you were going. Jake Laser has lost the car, Josh, on the exit of turn 10 into turn 11, and that is unfortunate. He's down to the back of the grid now, Josh, and that was not the right strategy call.
It's not really played out well from there. Capsule set the fastest lap, but Tyrant King is not close enough to go for a move. And the Ferraris are staying where they are as well. But now, crucially, DRS is enabled. Tyrant King is in P2. Bit of a snap that I can't get my words out. A bit of a snap there coming out of the exit of turn 3. He's got the DRS. He doesn't have a 5-second penalty. Can he do anything? Get past Touch Capsule and possibly beat him.
Yes, wanting to get past Twitch Axel as soon as possible. Or even though Twitch Axel does have that 5 seconds, so he can just stick in the DRS and get into the lead when the penalty is served.
Yeah, well, he certainly can. And Caxel might, well, you'd think maybe Tyrant actually just stay behind Caxel and just maybe save tyres, save battery, because we've seen Caxel 32, Tyrant 49, and then he got JE behind on 75. So a bit of a deficit to them. JE maybe in the advantage point at this point in time, but the gap between Tyrant and Touch Capsule and through them corners, it's tough to stay in such a close proximity. I think Tyrant has the pace at this point in time, and you know what, at this point you may as well just fly past Capsule. We're now going to look at him as they go on to lap 15. Capsule moves, wheeling about like a madman. I think he's broken enough with the toe. He's used enough of his battery to stay ahead possibly. Tyrant used nothing there, so maybe listening into the commentary and taking my advice and just sticking behind and saving a bit of battery behind Twitch Caxel. But now as they make their way towards turn 4, Tyrant is right behind Caxel, and maybe we'll see a move around the outside now as they go into turn 4. Caxel late on the brakes. Tyrant tries to switch back, a little bit snappy on the rear end, uses his battery now as they go into a turn back, a downhill corner. Tyrant around the outside, trying to hold it with Twitch Caxel. Caxel keeps the position as it is, but is very much not over now to make the way towards the tricky turn 6, 7, and 8. And now we'll see, can Tyrant do anything? Coming out of turn 9, going into turn 10 on the back straight. They're really close between the two of them now. This is going to be an interesting battle. Will we see Caxel lose the position here to Tyrant? He's going to try and defend down the inside. And now Caxel got a bit wide. The Tyrant getting the switch back. My friend, hold back because you want to get the DRS on the main straight. They're going to go around the outside though. Tyrant doesn't want to wait for the main straight because he's gotten past Caxel, and that's a great move for him there.
Very good move, but we have now got the DRS straight. That is the start finish straight, and Caxel will have the DRS, and Tyrant will have nothing. This could come down to Caxel to get another position, and Jay might follow him through here, Josh. And looks like Jay has made a move on Tyrant King and put himself into P2 and the the provisional win of this race.
FTR Dan retires from the session in the pit lane. Official J getting a great exit out of turn 3, and that's all of a sudden around the outside of turn 4, we see Official JE trying to go for something. It's not enough now. We're going to wait for him to come through and see it. Now Official JE has maybe an opportunity around the outside of turn 5, going for the switchback move maybe. Tyrant nearly put his front wing in danger's way there, but gets out just in time. Still, Mighty Winner 2 waiting for his time, biding his time. Of course, I think he's got the highest battery out of the lot. I think Shane may be saving a bit. No, he isn't. The Mighty Winner 2 has very much got the advantage here. Highway, he's also doing quite well compared to the rest. And Tyrant maybe has an opportunity on Official J. No is the answer. Mighty Winner 2 very much holding back and waiting for them to waste all their battery and their tyres.
There was a little tap on the back of Official JE there, Josh, and he has been forced very wide. And I don't know if he's going to get the DRS with that, because he has just stayed within a second, and he will just keep within that DRS and take that crucial.
Tyrant King's gone wide there, though. He's had a net of trouble out of turn 14. He's lost position to both Mighty Winner 2 and Shane there. So he did Touch Caxel a bit of a favour, going out of turn 12 into 13. And now he's done himself a bit of a disservice. Now he's trying to go around the outside of Mighty Winner 2. Not enough. Maybe switchback is on. It's going to be really close now between the two of them as they go in towards turn 4. Mighty Winner 2 around the outside. Tyrant down the inside. He's going to get it. Maybe force him a little bit wide. And then, yeah, he has gotten past Mighty Winner 2. So Tyrant King starting to make amends. We see Jake Blazer at the back currently getting the fastest lap and maybe making a bit of a comeback charge. But he's got a big gap to the 50 caliber in front of him. So, a bit of trouble for Jake Blazer as it is.
That was a big gap, Josh, but Twitch Caxel, no, not Twitch Caxel, 50 caliber did just make a little mistake and spun out of the exit of turn 1. So, Jake Blazer might gain another position there.
Twitch Caxel will be absolutely booking it right now as he just has, of course, it's a 5-second penalty. He needs to get away, but I think he just doesn't have the pace as it is. Official J seems to have the pace as well to maybe get into P1. We're seeing Shane starting to drop back a little bit compared to the front two. Tyrant King is eager to get past, and Official J is very much eager to get past Touch Caxel. Caxel, not enough battery, and now we see Official J has gotten into P1. Twitch Capsule's got 2% ERS. My friend, you need to hold back and save your battery because you're not getting anywhere with 2%.
And Tyre King just tried to make a move around the outside of turn 3. Couldn't make it stick. Now he's going to try and make it up the inside of turn 4 as they go side by side. And Shane went a little bit deep there, and Tyre King is through back up to P3 after his little error earlier on in the race.
Yeah, as much as Matty wanted to is holding back and waiting for the opportunity to pounce, is he starting to run out of time? Of course, there's still a long way to go in this race, but he's still just behind Shane. I think it seems that Shane is the one with the least amount of pace in this pack currently. Mighty 1 or 2 might need to get past Shane as soon as possible. And he's right behind Shane, and maybe we're going to send it down the inside. No, he will not. He will wait again. Now the gap between Tyrant and Twitch Caxel is quickly flashed at just about a second. But he's managed to keep it within and get the DRS. Caxel right behind JE. I think we'll see him deploy his battery and try and fly past JE again. And I presume JE won't defend with his battery. From this, he isn't defending. Caxel is deploying. He's being a bit stupid with his DRS currently. But it will help him to get past official JE. And he will do that in towards turn 1. Now they go. Caxel goes down the inside and gets ahead of official JE. But once again, 3% ERS. It's not going to help him. It really isn't.
Never. And he is going to be, he's going to be sitting duck down the straight. And this DRS train is absolutely incredible. The fact that these guys could just sit behind each other, overtake the other one, because that DRS is just absolutely, as they would say, if it was a real race, they'd say it was overpowered. And it seems to be a little bit overpowered around here, if you ask me, personally, Josh.
Yeah, it's I mean, I did mention earlier on about just the difference in top speeds down the straight, and it shows really in the amount of ERS being used as well here. Of course, Spain is a very difficult track to recover ERS, and we missed Mighty 1 or 2 getting past Shane on the last lap while we were watching Twitch Caxel and official JE go wheel for wheel, pound for pound, cut for cut. I think it's going to keep on going because now look at the gap. And Tyrant is very much on the scene as well now. Matt, take us through this next lap.
Is all over the back of these two. We have a little four-way battle as Matty 1 or 2 is caught up to the back, and Shane is trying to stick to the back of them, but I think he might lose it soon. And Twitch Caxel is losing it. JE is back ahead, and it looks like Tyre King is going to dive up the inside, and Tyre King goes into the back of JE, also taking Matty 1 or 2 with him, and they are all out. That is 3 of the race-winning contenders all just went into each other, and that is perfect. That's amazing for Twitch Caxel, and not anymore because it's a safety car, Josh. What just happened?
God, I have absolutely no idea what I've just seen, but somehow the only person to come out of that with a bit of damage was Mighty 1 or 2. The victim in the situation, he was just caught in the wrong place at the wrong time, and he came out the worst, so he'll be happy at least at the safety car, but he won't be happy about what he just saw in front of him.
No. Now, Josh, out of the blue, Shane is in the best position in this race.
Definitely
And
is.
I don't know how this has happened.
The gap
but
between
he was
Twitch
not on
Caxel,
the-
sorry Matt, just want to point this out before we see them come in. The gap between Twitch Caxel and official JE is just about 7 seconds as it is. So I think Twitch Caxel will be able to serve his time penalty and come in ahead. And of course, with a double stack, we'll see JE does come in. Mighty 1 or 2 as well will come in to change his wing. So he'll lose out to Mr. Camu. Mr. Camu's on the scene now as well, but after all that. So he'll lose out to Mr. Camu and Tyrant King. And maybe even Roscoe. Now all of a sudden, it's everyone and Jake Laser. So yeah, that's going to be interesting coming out the pits to see what the order will be. So of course, it will be Shane coming out first. And I think we will then see, I think it will be Twitch Caxel. Oh no, Mr. Cam, no it isn't, no. So it will be Twitch Caxel, and then it will be official JE, I think, and then Mr. Camu. Tyrant King in P5, Matty 1 or 2 after changing his win P6. Roscoe in P7, now Jake Laser coming out of there, no, coming in even. Will change his hard tyres for a set of mediums, it looks like. So, that's our rundown. Shane, advantage.
I have no idea how this has happened. That was an incredibly audacious move from Tyrant King going into the back of official JE whilst he tried to dive up the inside of Twitch Caxel. And that's brought Jake Laser back into it, and the Aston Martin boys obviously believe there's too far to go on those softs, so they are going to be on the mediums and hope that the softs go off before the end of the race.
I believe we saw Dark Jr., of course, a race. No, not the race winner, the pole sitter from last night's race in Tier 1. Go, ooh, let's say 15 laps on the softs. We saw him in the high 50s of tyre wear. So the softs go longer here than a lot of other tracks. But Shane Caxel, Mighty 102, and Jake Laser on the mediums. We'll see how they do compared to Official J, Mr. Camu now after his 2-minute qualifying lap. Roscoe and Tyrant King on the softs. No hard runners apart from the 50 caliber who died in all the chaos somewhere.
Yes, this will be a very interesting restart, Josh. It looks like we might have another lap safety car, unfortunately.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we
we'll
will
have
have to
at least
waffle
another lap.
a little bit more. I am very interested to see how quickly JE can get past Twitch Caxel when he's got the fresher tyres. If he can, is the more important question, but I'd rather see him have a go. And Mr. Camu is definitely in this race now after looking out with that safety car.
Yeah, I mean, we've found Mr. Camu in P4, and the man that got pole position by 3, nearly 4 tenths in P7. So, it just shows in Tier 2 anything can happen. Doesn't matter really where you qualify, as long as you keep it clean and keep out of the Tier 1 calamities that you can find yourself in P4.
Yes, and Mr. Camu will be hoping to get a good result here as he is only on 6 points through the season. He's had a very unfortunate start of the season. With his pace, we expect him to be a bit further forward, but he will be hoping to get a couple of points for Williams and drag himself and the team further up in the Constructors' Championship and the Drivers' Championship.
Was Mr. Camu one of the, I believe, 2 African drivers in BMRL repping the land of Africa well, and we know he's got basically joined midway through Tier 2 Season 1, and we've seen glimmers of pace, but we've seen not really glimmers, great results from Mr. Camu. Of course, in pre-season he was actually one of the favourites for being up there in the championship, but I think just a few bad races has kind of blown up and hasn't done as well as everyone would have thought he was. But now he's in P4, we'll see what he can do later on. And we'll see what Shane can do on his first ever BMRL safety car restart. Matt, I took the first one. Be my guest for the second.
Can't make me do this, Josh. Okay, here we go. I'm not used to doing this, so I will apologise for this in advance, but we watched the reserve Ferrari driver, Shane, warm up his tyres as much as he can. When will he go? It's very close to the safety car, so he won't be able to go until very late. He must not be extremely used
early.
to being. He's gone a bit early. They might be held up by the safety car. No, he hasn't. Luckily enough, he has done a good little restart there, and Twitch Caxel is all over the back of him already. Will he make a move? It doesn't look like he's going to make a move yet, and Shane keeps P1, and it didn't look like the best restart, but he kept everyone behind, so it must have been good enough. And in we go into turn 3. Twitch Caxel going a little bit wide, dumping his ERS, trying to get it on the outside of Shane, and he's made a little mistake going to the side of Shane there, and he's lost 1, 2, 3, 4 positions, and maybe a 5th on its way as he stands up the inside of the Aston Martin of Matty 102.
Yeah, Caxel was just really hyper aggressive with his battery there, and it's come back to bite me. He just went for it so early. Matty wanted to try to send it up the inside at turn 9. Maybe he lives to fight another day. He backed out, and that would have been a crazy if he managed to pull it off. But Caxel deploying his battery again to defend from Matty 102. Matty 102's got the switchback on him now, and round the outside of turn 12 does Matty 102 go, but Caxel's not going to let it give up, and he's going to try and keep it. He has got the position as they make their way towards the penultimate corner of this lap, and now towards turn 14. Matty 102 is very much behind his championship rival, Twitch Caxel. He might just gotten a warning there. Official J set the fastest lap, but we'll look at Matty 102 and Twitch Caxel. Matty 102 is deploying, Twitch Caxel is deploying as well, and we'll see Matty 102 down in towards turn 1 of lap 34. Roscoe's on the scene as well, and he goes past Matty 102, and all of a sudden Roscoe in the soft compound tyres is into P5.
Tyrant King is off in P6. He ran into the side of Matty 102. Matty 102 is in the wars there, being hit by almost everyone in the race, and he is got a penalty from it. Did he get a penalty from it, or did he already have a penalty? But he is all the way down at the back of the grid, and the Aston Martins, who started with a front row lockout on the last row on the grid. The Ferraris 1-2, and JE is in the lead, by the way, Josh. I don't know if you noticed, but JE took the lead off his teammate, and he's now running away with it out of the DRS. So that's all he needed.
Yeah, I mean, Roscoe, who I was very much surprised to see steaming down the inside, very much got his elbows out with Tyrant King, showing him the gravel. And now what can Roscoe do? Caxel is the next person in front of him. He's also got a very, very hungry Tyrant King 50 behind him.
Yes, it'll be very interesting to see how Roscoe can do. He wants to stick within the DRS of the guys in front, who are definitely slightly quicker than him. But if he can stick within the DRS, he will be in that DRS train, so he will have the pace just because he has the DRS. And it looks like Mr. Camu is all over the back of Shane. It doesn't look like he's going to make a move just yet. He'll be waiting for the DRS to hit, and then he will hopefully be able to make a move and then run away from the reserve Ferrari driver, who's having a blinder of a race, by the way. Commending him, I am. And he is in P2, and hopefully we're able to fight for a podium position here with
Tyrant,
Mr. Cameron.
Sorry, mate.
Carry on.
Tyrant King had a bit of an issue somewhere, and he is now in last. We've seen Jake Glazer getting past Mighty. Well, he was already ahead of Mighty 1 and 2. Tyrant King maybe looking for a move into turns 7 on Mighty 1 and 2, and now he gets a good run on him. Down in the inside of turn 9 goes Tyrant King. That's a sensational move if he can pull it off, as he now goes side by side in towards turn 10. We'll look at Mr. Camu further up in a second. We'll see what the outcome of this battle is. Tyrant King gets a switch like a Mighty 1 and 2, and I think he's got the position now. Tyrant King is ahead of Mighty 1 and 2, and the championship leader is very much in last. We'll look now to Mr. Camu, who now has the DRS. Shane doing a bit of a favour for his teammate, and now the gap between them is 1.9 seconds, 2 seconds. I think Mr. Camu realises it, because he's getting a move on, and he's getting past Shane now into P2 on lap 26. He needs to fly towards the back of that Ferrari if he wants any chance of winning this race.
Looks like Josh, Twitch Caxton's also made a move on Shane, and Shane is down into P4, but he is going to try and send it back up the inside of his teammate. Not his teammate, I don't know where that came from, but he is down to P4, and that is very unfortunate. But he is on the medium tyres, remember, Josh, and the guys in 1 and 2 are on the softs, so they might run out. You never know.
No, it is really, at this point in the race, it is very much official JE and co we see behind. We've got pretty much the entire grid apart from official JE in DRS range of each other. So it is very much anybody can do anything in this race so far. But the DRS is so powerful. It's a bit like esports, where we just see it's not so easy to make a move on someone unless you have a serious pace advantage. And unless Mr. Camu has got a serious pace advantage, he's just going to be on the back foot rather than going on the front foot to official JE.
Exactly, Josh. And he will not want to be keeping Twitch Castle in the DRS, but it is what's going to happen. And it looks like Twitch Castle will be wanting to make a move as soon as possible, because I assume Twitch Castle will believe he's quicker than Mr. Cameron here, so he'll be wanting to make a move quickly so he can try and make his moves on official JE later on in the race.
Yeah, Twitch Caxel, I think we just saw him get a warning as well coming out of the exit of turn 14. And Shane is very much on the back of him. Is there an opportunity into turn 4? No is the answer. But can he get a better run towards turn 5? No is the answer once again. Shane stays where he is. Twitch Caxel maybe on the verge of getting a penalty. Might have 1 or 2, and Tyrant King going side by side with each other. Tyrant King gets ahead. Oh, sorry, I think defends successfully against Mighty 1 or 2.
Camu, Shane, Twitch Caxel, BMRL Roscoe, Jake Glazer, all in a DRS train, dropping the likes of Tyrant King and Matty 1 or 2, who won't be very happy with where they're at, as both of them were fighting for the win, if you remember, just about 6-7 laps ago, and now they are down fighting for the last and second last place on this result, as they have made contact. I don't know if you saw that, Josh.
Didn't.
Matty 1 or 2 just spun Tyrant King, and this has not been a race to remember for either of them, and hopefully they can come back later on, and
sorry, mate, we're just going to see Twitch Caxel getting past Mr. Camu, and Twitch Caxel now into people I was actually going to talk about before the incident between, as we just seen, we saw Tyrant King going off there. Official JE has hit his tyre drop-off point, and we did see Mr. Camus wasn't on a drop off, and we saw maybe the gap coming down a little bit. Now Touch Caxel, who hasn't hit his yet either, now starting to bring the gap together towards the Official JE. We might not see the race finish yet because Mr. Camus and Touch Caxel are gaining on Official JE more. Touch Caxel doing the heavy lifting with them fresher medium compound tires. So we'll see how that gap develops throughout the race. What Mighty wanted to is with a penalty. In P7 and very much not in a bit of no man's land. But no man's land is an understatement if you are a Tyrant King who was just he's not retired yet. If I'm honest, it's past 50% distance. I would have retired in this position, but we'll see. Gap between Touch Caxel and Official J now just over 1 second. So crucially, he does not have the DRS. But Mr. Camus, does he have enough to get past Touch Caxel? Answer is no. So Jake Laser gets past BMRL Roscoe, going on to lap 29. Now, what can Jake Laser do to redeem himself? Of course, the Pulsar had a bit of a opening stint to, well, really a middle stint to forget after his strategy blunder is what we'll call it. And we'll see, gap to Shane is 1.6, so he has a bit of work for him. And I'm telling you, Official J, you have a bit of work for you as well, because Touch Caxel is very much chasing him down. Caxel has just hit his drop-off point, but I think he's used the tyres enough. Just about, well, he's on the fringes of the DRS. He has pretty similar battery to Official J. J's tyres on 33%. Caxel's on 23%. And now we're seeing he is in the DRS. So we'll see what Caxel can do going on to lap 30 of 33.
Martin and Matty 1-2 is up into P6 on the road, and the Aston Martins have had a good damage limitation towards the end of this race, up to P5 and P6. And Touch Caxel is now within the DRS of Official JE, Josh, and we seem to have a blockbuster finish on our hands. I'm stuttering, it's so good.
Yeah, well, as it stands on this lap, we won't see any moves from Caxel. He probably needs to save his battery, and he has done so. He's actually got less than Official JE now, but he is now 1.1 behind, and Mr. Camus wants to get a move on. 3 tenths behind Touch Caxel. Will Mr. Camus maybe be the one to maybe challenge Official JE for the win of this race?
Yes,
Roscoe.
Camus seems to be-
Past.
Mr.
Might
Camus-
want to on track again. Go ahead, Matt.
Sorry. Mr. Cameron seems to be keeping up with the pace. He must have saved his tyres better than the others. As I say that, he makes a little mistake out of the exit of turn 4. Here we go. Caxton seems to be losing time on Official JE again. I did say we had a blockbuster finish on our hands, but it looks like those tyres have hit their drop-off point, and he doesn't have the pace anymore, Josh.
So, Official JE on 38% worn tyres, Mr. Camus on 33% on the same amount of worn soft tyres. So, Mr. Camus doing a little bit better on tyre saving as compared to Official JE. But Touch Caxel needs to get a move on. He's got the tyre advantage. Official JE just hitting his 40% drop-off point again, so his second drop-off now. He needs to get a move on if he wants to win this race.
Yes. Touch Caxel will be hoping to get within that elusive 1 second between him and Official JE to take that DRS and just keep him on the back and hope for a little mistake or something out of Official JE, who seems to have been this season the one who has the pace but never the consistency. But now it looks like he has the pace and the consistency around Spain at least, as it looks like there's been an incident between BMRL Roscoe and Matty 1-2.
Roscoe has front wing damage.
And, that is not good.
We might have seen a bit of a feisty incident between them two. They were going to with each other throughout the last 2 to 3 laps, and Roscoe has come out with a bit of a rough one. And just a show of respect for Tyrant King, of course, having an incident earlier on in the stint, but he stayed out. He's kept going. He's put on the softs, and he's kept his head up, and he's still out on track despite being in P8 with nowhere else to go, I guess. So respect to him, even though he's getting 2 points.
Might get another point after Roscoe has the pit. You never know here, Josh. We could be seeing a battle for P7 between the two of them on the last lap of this race. And Official JE is fighting Touch Caxel, who is now within 5/10 of Official JE. And Matty 1-2 has retired from the race very interesting.
In the
He
pit
must
lane,
not
he
be
was in
happy.
P6.
He must not be happy with what's just happened between him and Roscoe. He's been in the wars all race. He will be taking 4 points home with him for P8 as he did reach 75% distance. And that's very interesting, but something must have happened to him, and he must not be very happy. But Tyrant King sets the fastest lap of the race, so takes P7 plus an extra point, and that'll be the best he can hope for going into the last lap. And as we go into the last lap, Twitch Caxton is all over the back of official JE, Josh.
I'll say it when you'd notice Axel getting the DRS official JE on the final lap. All of a sudden, it seemed like it is advantage Twitch Caxel. They were equal on battery. They're equal on battery right now. Twitch Caxel onto the final lap might have an opportunity to take his second race win of the season. Caxel in the slipstream pulls alongside official JE, and Caxel is maybe going to get into P1. He has done so on lap 33 of 33. Official JE, you need to try your damn best if you want to do anything. Shane gets into P3 on his debut, getting into the podium. Can official JE do anything to fight Twitch Caxel for this win on the final lap? He's going to hold it, try. But as it stands, it's not enough. There is an opportunity as they go in towards turn 10. That'll be his last chance of this race. Can Caxel keep a hold of this one? Mr. Camu is very much in the fight. Jake Blazer as well for P3. Can Shane maybe is going to hold on to P3 as it stands. We're going to look to Fisher JE right behind Twitch Caxel. There is going to be a fucking dogfight for the win in turn 10. Official JE just doesn't have enough. Gonna go for the switchback, maybe on Twitch Caxel. They've made contact, they're both out, and all of a sudden, it's gonna be Shane who maybe takes the win in the final lap on turn 10. We've never seen the like. Shane, of all people, is gonna come home to take P1 on his debut, and that is the most incredible end to a race I have seen in my life. Shane comes home in P1. Mr. Camu, after qualifying last with a 2-minute lap time, gets into P2. Jake Blazer, pole position, P3, Caxel, and official JE side by side now with a bit of controversy. That'll be something that'll be investigated after this race. But Shane comes home to take the win. That was incredible.
Shane did absolutely nothing wrong there, and he came up to turn 10, and he was given Christmas and his birthday on the same day. As we look into the final corner, Tyrant King might get a position on Roscoe on the last corner. Tyrant King takes home P6 and Roscoe in P7. That was an incredible final lap. Very unfortunate for Official JE and Official JE and who was he fighting? Twitch Caxel, who came together and came to blows, and now they have to take home P4 and P5, unfortunately for them. But congratulations to our man, the Ferrari man, to take home the win on his reserve debut, and he will be seeing a full-time seat come his way soon, surely.
That was incredible. That is, yeah, I think that is the most incredible end to a race I've seen in the commentary box. Of course, Dark Jr. in season 5 of Tier 1 getting the win at the final corner on Luca in Singapore was, of course, an incredible moment. But as far as I've seen from a commentary, that was an incredible end to the race. Season 3, sorry.
Season 3 was Dark HD, not Dark Jr. But
no, Dark HD on Luca, Season 3. Yeah.
But congratulations to Shane, who takes home the win. Mr. Camu in P2 from starting at the back of the grid. And Jake Blazer rounding off the podium after having a horrible first and middle stint.
Wow. Well, seems like a bit of an well, it isn't self-explanatory now that I think about it, because I was gonna say who was your driver of the day, but there's two that really stand out there for me. So what's your opinion?
I would have to give it to Mr. Camu. Shane got the win, so Mr. Camu can be happy with the driver of the day from myself. But either way, both of them absolutely incredible drivers in my opinion.
You know, I'm just sending out a message to the finishers just to so we can hear from them on interview box. But yeah, I would have said on first analysis, yeah, Mr. Camu was a driver of the day. But oh, we're going straight back into qual. We're going again, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready for the second qualifying session of this night. I'm gonna get pole this time around, and I'm not gonna let anybody take the win from me on the final lap. it's all happening. I'm telling you.
How that happened.
Anyways, see who gets pole this time. Um,
Uh,
yeah, I was gonna initially say Mr. Camu was the obvious answer for pole position, but not pole position, driver of the day, but Shane didn't put a foot wrong. He had a very, very Dark HD-esque race, and yeah, he was quite clean from start to finish. But yeah, we'll talk about that at a later stage. But for now, we will move on to the interviewees, and we'll be waiting on a few people while we get ready for the interviews. You send out the
Yeah,
message?
I think I need you to. I think Josh, 'cause
Oh.
I need to give the new guy, the reserve driver that took home the win. I need to give him roles because I haven't actually allowed him into the lobbies yet. Very surprising to see him take home the win for the reserve of Ferrari, but that'll help Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship, as Aston Martin didn't have the greatest of races.
What's Shane's Discord?
I think he is Tom, the latest guy. Tom at Tom. THOM. It was an interesting race, I have to say. Racing standards maybe need a little look at. The stewards will definitely have quite a bit of work to do in Tier 2. I'm very happy I'm not a Tier 2 steward. Unfortunate for you, Josh, that you have to deal with all of that.
I have to deal with everything, mate.
But it's incredible to see he was consistent all race, wasn't he? Shane was just sticking to the back, and that is everything you need to do in a league like this, isn't it? Sit there and hope, and if you're sat there, anything can happen in front of you, especially when it's those type of drivers who are very aggressive and they all want to keep the position at all times. And that was an amazing stint and a race from him, just to stick there and be consistent. Even though he didn't have the pace of the other guys, he was very, very quick and he was able to be there to take advantage of any sort of mistakes that they make.
Yeah, definitely. We'll move on. I'm saying move on. I just want to switch scene rather than saying I don't know what I'm saying move on for. But yeah, have we got everybody in? Can't see Discord currently, so
We have Jake Laser and Camu, third and second. I don't know where the new guy is. It is very unfortunate that he isn't fully integrated into the server, so I can't actually seem to sort him out.
Is he online?
You should be able to see your messages. He should be online.
He should be able to join. So
let me. If you've added him, he should.
right.
If you want to start the
Yeah,
interviews
we'll make a start.
Yeah.
So just bear with me a second, everybody, while we get this sorted out, and we'll first make a start with the man who finished P3 in the end. Jake Laser, my friend, how are you doing?
Hey, good afternoon, gents. Evening, actually, over there. But, yeah, P3 in the end. I'm not sure what kind of magic miracle is at work to jump me on the last two quarters from P5 to P3, but obviously, Braun should be my middle name, so hello, I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, that was an interesting race for you, but I'm going to talk about qualifying because I think I screamed at the top of my voice when I saw you go into pole position there. Take us through your qualifying, because it was amazing.
Yeah, pretty unbelievable to see that result. Don't think I've ever cleared a field by 3/10, and it's crazy to me that I've now had 3 poles, I think, this year. Not that it matters, because I haven't seen P1 in the race results, but a nice little pride thing after not getting a single pole last year, and to show up in Bahrain to start the season pole, show up in China in the wet weather and put it pole, and then pull a rabbit out of my hat for this one.
Yeah, well, definitely, as a man that appreciates qualifying merchants, I'm not going to call you a qualifying merchant as of yet, but certainly it was an incredible qualifying lap, and I'm sure it's a matter of time before we see the race win from you. Well, we'll talk about the race. course, he had a bit of an issue in the opening lap as compared to the people around you. And yeah, do you want to take us through what happened there? And before that, and after that, we'll go into the strategy.
Sure. Yeah, I know that the soft and mediums were better starting compounds. I chose to go for a medium hard strat because I knew with a higher downforce setup I would burn the wheels a little more, but because of some of the settings that I had tuned my car to, I would be able to maintain my consistency and pace throughout the race. So
yeah,
the fact that I let some people pass me, and I say let because it was a bit strategic to know that ERS is a very big part of this track, and I knew that the 3 people that passed me had burned a lot just to get by me. So the plan was to sit behind them, wait for my moment and strike.
Yeah, well, it was something that we definitely noticed in the commentary box with you guys saving your tires, especially and your battery, as compared to like the likes of Caxel, who absolutely cooked his battery in the opening few laps. But we'll address the very much elephant in the room when it came to the virtual safety car and the strategy. So at the time, I thought the Aston should have split the strategy, and at the time it didn't seem like the end of the world that you guys both stayed out, and then in the end you saw the safety car come out. So of course it was a horrible look, but you want to speak about what was going through both of your guys' minds at the time, and
Yeah,
how it was your reaction to seeing the full safety car.
definitely. Glad you brought it up because this is clearly a deficiency in my brain where I'm weighing track position much higher than tire compound and strategy. It's something that this is the 3rd strike and I'm out, so I need to reverse my thoughts on it. Obviously, putting on hards and going the rest of the way was the right call there. I had the rights to the pit stop to make that decision. I chose not to because I wanted to stay P1. My teammate went in and benefited off of it, and I got cooked on the restart. My tires are in a fine position. In mediums, I at the 25% threshold and feeling fine, but because of the pure grip from those around me, I couldn't keep with them and really had to dive into the pits quickly, and it was a bad look.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, guys, but I mean, yeah, you found both of you. I mean, you had a 1-2 in qualifying, and then you were you had a front row lockout to a back row lockout. In after I think it was a second safety car, second virtual safety car. But it was certainly a great comeback, and yeah, congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you. The second safety car was a blessing, and whatever else happened around the track around me, I chose to stay out of it and to let the drivers who wanted to play bumper cars side by side go for it. So yeah, it wasn't my favorite thing to do to not drive side by side, but I couldn't trust other drivers to respect the track enough for my liking. So I may have sacrificed a finishing position, but maybe the karma gods gave me P3. So yeah, thank you guys.
Anything to add, Matt?
No, you pretty much covered it. I was going to look at the drivers' championship, constructors' championship. It looked like you were going to lose a lot of ground to the other title contenders, but it ended up you're the top title contender in that results, and you gained a little bit of ground on your teammate and pulled a little bit away from Fisher JE. Even though it wasn't the greatest race, so you're still happy to gain those points.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the data guys just sent me some info. Depending on how the rest of the field plays out with penalties and things like that, I'm tentatively 5 points off of first now. I've cleared 7 points to JE in third behind me, so definitely feel right back in it after the last 2 weeks, but a lot to debrief with my teammate on. Things really didn't go his way, and I'm sure some of these things will be addressed in the post-race briefings. So yeah, before I go, major congrats to Camu and our reserve driver for putting it on pole and winning the race. Congrats, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was Jake Glazer, currently P2 in the championship, and after a very strong race, maybe we'll see him move even further forward. Anyways, we will move on to the man who was in P2. Mr. Cammy, my friend, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing alright, and you?
I'm doing really well. I'm going to start out with going for qualifying because there was a little bit of, obviously we knew that it wasn't, your best lap time, but we had a bit of a a bit of a laugh about the amazing 2-minute qualifying lap. Of course, I assume there was some other circumstances that came into it, but was there any particular thing that happened in qualifying that we should know about?
Yeah, so the first one went out, and what I usually do, I guess, like I increase my brake bias to 70, so I can have my brake and tire all in the same temperature. And I just forget that in this league, the tires pit simulator is like on, so I don't need to do that. So the first lap I went in and I forgot to put back the brake bias around 56, 55, and I left it at 70. So my first lap was just not good, and I have to go in and put some new tires, and now trying to actually have a decent lap, but I was pushing too much and I just lost it at that corner. That's basically what happened there, and yeah, but even though I could not be at that time of Jack Laser, I think my best should be around 111.6. So there was no way I'm gonna do a 111.3. So that was a poor time I could not get near, to be honest. So where Jack Laser that lap, I didn't even know where he get that from, to be honest.
Yeah, it was certainly an incredible qualifying lap from the American. But we'll talk about an incredible first lap from you, because I think you went from P12 to P7 on the first lap. What happened there, mate?
So yeah, so when I was driving, I said, okay, I'm pretty sure most of the guys gonna go soft or medium. So what I need to do is mainly just try to go on hard and try to see and try to go as long as I can and try to avoid the turn one incident, stuff like that, which I managed to do, because at turn one I saw some people get into some collision, and I just was able to avoid it. And from there on, I was right next to my pass teammate, which is a 50 caliber, and I was able to pass him right away. And after that, I was in the middle of nowhere because the guys in front of me had DRS. I didn't have DRS, and I could not catch up to them because I think my race pace was the same as them. I could not catch them because I didn't have DRS, and I was pushing and pushing, and I ended up breaking my wings. That's how I had the safety car as well coming out.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about the front wing damage, but you answered the question for me, so we'll move on anyways. Of course, at the very end of the race, we saw some contact from the drivers in front, and that put you into P2. You think P1 was on in the end, or do you think it was just a little bit beyond your reach?
So P1 was, when we were doing a safety car to restart, there was a medium tire. It was Matt, I think, the Red Bull, and I think official G was able to pass him real quick and pull a gap. If I was able to pass the Red Bull in like right away after the safety car, I may have a chance. But the fact that he was on medium and I was on soft, and the longer I was staying behind him, the more my tire is gonna go towards him. So after that, I didn't have much chance to get P1. My best was P3, and with the DRS chicken, he was still able to pull a gap and use his ERS to win. But the new guy, the Ferrari, had more ERS than me. So on the last lap, when we were starting lap 33, he used everything he got and go right past me. Like nothing I could do. Like my best would be like P4, to be honest. I wasn't expecting to get P2, and when I saw something happen between the Red Bull and the Ferrari, I said, oh, alright, I guess my lucky day.
Yeah, it was definitely a great race from yeah, definitely congratulations. Matt, question from you?
I was just gonna congratulate you on the second place, and after having a poor start to the season by your standards, a second place here, 18 points, almost tripling your points tally in this season. Are you hoping to kick on for the rest of the season?
I hope so. I hope so, because I think I'm not that far away from them in the pace-wise, but just the consistency that I need to keep working on, and sometimes some lucks as well. But yeah, I hope so, because to be honest, I've been having a bad luck in my previous races, and I guess I hope at least I should be able to do all of the race. And now it's a matter of just if I am consistent enough to keep it on track enough to get some points. That's just what's gonna be mainly. So yeah, and as well, congratulations to Jack Laser for his P3. He was, yeah, I feel bad for him when I saw him like all the way back of the grid at some point.
Thank you very much. Well done on the second place and your first podium, hopefully of many in the soon.
I hope to. Thank you guys, and thank you for the commentary. That was lovely to hear from you guys.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. Well, I'll tell
Alright,
you what
bye.
else is going to be lovely to hear, ladies and gentlemen, is that we are going to be back once again here on Twitch for the BMRL Tier 1 Season 6 Round 8 in the lovely land of Portugal. We're going to be at the Algarve International Circuit for the Tier 1 Portuguese Grand Prix. Don't miss it. At 8 p.m. GMT on Sunday, and of course catch the Tier 2s on Monday at 7 p.m. GMT for the Tier 2 race in Portugal as well. As always, it's been a pleasure commentating for you today. My name is Josh Lau, and joined by the lovely man Matt Ashley. Have a great night, everybody. Good night.